Welcome back, everyone. This is the Week 12 recap, Week 13 preview, last week of the regular season. I'm here with Jack, Dan, and Cole. Cole's on the road, so if you can't hear him, blame those goddamn chinks he works for. But we're going to get started. Officially this week, Joe has been eliminated from the playoffs. Brendan and Chris lost as needed for him, but he couldn't quite pull out the win against the undisputed John.
Turn it on vibrate.
Okay, I don't know what Cole's talking about. Hopefully it's not his vibrator. But we're going to go on. John and Cole actually secured a playoff spot. I believe John secured a bye week this week. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Someone fact check that.
Yeah, he has.
He's secured a bye week. Cole has not. He's still got to play. Cole, who you got this week?
I play Brendan, but I just want to point out that finally, by recognizing that John has solidified a bye, you're putting some spec on the 1-2 boys. So I appreciate that.
So, I think John and Cole have a date later this week, but to be confirmed. But yes, so still, everyone who should have won last week should have won, and everyone who should have lost. Oh, except I beat Chris, so suck on that, and I hope Dempsey actually checks his lineup and knocks you out of the playoffs. But otherwise, no ill will. It's still pretty much the same order as last week. John, Cole, Dan, Jack, Alex, Chris, Brendan, Joe, me, Buck, Demps, Mike. Interesting little storyline we got this week. If Chris wins and Brendan loses, Chris makes the playoffs. If Brendan wins and Chris loses, Brendan makes the playoffs. If either both win or both lose, Chris makes the playoffs unless Brendan outscores Chris by 95 points. So, not out of the question for sure, but it's going to be a tough week for Brendan, especially with the 2-seed Cole, and Chris plays the 11-seed Demps, who I don't think has checked his team since week 7, but here we go. Actually, going off of that, Dempsey had, I want to say, historically bad week. When
It was an all-timer.
All-time. I believe the record previously held was by Chris for lowest points in a week. But that was in a bye week when I think 8 of his players were hurt or of some sort like that.
Colts.
All the Colts were on bye or some crazy. He only scored 24. Dempsey put up 33 whole points. I believe Julio Jones could have defeated the entire team. Shout out to Jack, who finally gets some receivers going. But yeah, congrats, Demps. No one's ever done that before. In the good way. But what do you guys think?
I must say I was surprised this morning to see 0 waiver claims.
Every Wednesday I go through and I update the who's can't cut list and who's made the number of moves. By the way, I think this is a league record. We're currently at 250 moves on the year as a league, and we're only through week 12.
It's a lot of cash.
Yeah, I did have 80 plus one year, so.
Well, since I've been keeping track, it's a lot. But this is the first week in a long time there's been no waiver claims. And I think it's finally teams are starting to solidify where they are. Or, who the good players are. But what's that, Dan? Fun fact?
Fun fact, Mike Proska has officially tied Joe Phelan's 2011 season for most losses in a single season. That includes playoffs, though.
Yeah.
So,
I think he has the new streak as well. I think the previous streak
was the longest streak of all time at 12.
I think the previous was Tim at 11. Remember Tim? Soon after that 11-game losing streak, he was nowhere to be found. Wonder what's going to happen to Mike. But moving on. Good starts of the week. We don't really have anyone. Like we said, everyone's playing, they're getting expected to who they should be playing, so there was no really crazy good starts, but a couple of flubs. Dan, you want to take this one for yourself?
Yeah, Sam. I had a couple players on my bench
this past week, Robbie Anderson and Jamal Williams riding the bench there, both with 25-plus points, while I did have Alfred Morris in the lineup. So while I did win, I could have strengthened my case for most points by the end of the season. I'm only up by I believe 34 points right now. So
that's still
gonna have a week. But Jack can be my witness. I think I texted him talking about how I was considering dropping Jamal Williams before the week began. And so good thing I kept him.
Manager of the Year candidate over here. No, but so for anyone that doesn't know, regular season most points total gets that extra $75. It's not most wins or whatever; it's most points. I believe we changed it over last year. Go back and check.
It's not $150.
No, it's whatever you pay in. Because third place gets 75, second place gets some amount. I think it's 200, and then whatever's left goes to first place. Plus all the extra transaction money. So we might be able to give that to first place overall in the regular season. Something to consider moving forward. But I'm just rambling at this point. Another giant flub of the week. I never thought I'd say this. Jack, do you want to take this one?
Well, if Mike actually had a chance of winning, if he had started anybody over Robert Woods, maybe Bilal Powell, anybody, he would have beaten Alex. And Alex would be tied, I think, for sixth place. Is that right?
Yeah. I think he's got the point total over those two. No, he'd be in fifth place. He'd be fifth place.
He would have to win again.
If Mike's kicker doesn't miss a field goal, Mike wins, even with Robert Woods in his lineup. So Alex caught a big break.
Huge break.
I know there's been a lot of talk on this podcast that Alex hasn't heard of his demise, and that would have kind of solidified his demise.
What did Alex
But also would have made for a deadly first-round playoff matchup.
Yeah.
What would the matchup been?
But you probably would have been 5 versus 3. Probably would have been me versus him.
He would be the 5 versus 4.
It'd be you versus him. Oh no, but then okay. So
one of us has to play him, Jack.
Yeah.
Most likely.
If you all win, I think it's the Battle of the Liberators in the first round. Something we've never seen. I would have loved to see the Battle of the Liberators and the Battle of the Founds in the first round, but Joe couldn't hold up his end of the deal. But so be it. Those were our flubs of the week. We're going to move on to our segment of the week. Cole.
Before we get into the segment of the week, Sam, Chris Goggin did score 24 points in a week. It was actually week 14, and he had a bye.
That's what I said.
No, you said...
I said he was on bye week, so he didn't have an opponent.
I thought you said all his players were on a bye.
I said I don't know how he scored 24 if all his players were on bye.
Right.
But he played against nobody and scored 24, whereas Dempsey had an actual real live living being person and scored 33, which is holy shit.
Segment of the week now, huh?
Please leave corrections till the end of the show.
It might be the choppy connection, but are you saying his players were on a bye, or were you saying his players were all high?
Little of both, Stan. Cole, I'm pretty sure he had Josh Gordon that year.
Okay. All right. So here's the segment of the week, more of a discussion. So as I was driving around, I do a lot of driving. When people drive as much as me, I'm a tremendous driver. But anyway, I was thinking, is there anyone on the planet more sexy than my sexy flexies? Anybody care to chime in? I couldn't think of anybody. So if you guys can name anyone, that'd be great.
The new royal princess, I think, has got your sexy flexies beat. Or Duchess.
For all of you who don't know, the sexy flexies are all of my running backs.
I wouldn't say all your running backs. I'd say half of your bench and your starting 2 running backs.
Hillary Swank might be up there.
Yeah. I'd have to... I don't know. I don't think she's sexy. I do her, but that's not the game.
Yeah, that's not the game. You gotta be sexy. Can't be hot. Can't be
I'm pretty sure he wasn't a flex.
You picked your least sexy flex to talk about sexy.
Yeah.
You know what's sexy?
Not a good week.
The fact that Cole's opponents average under 70 points a game. That's sexy.
It's incredible. 33 certainly helped.
He's pushing for Jack's record of 64 back in 11.
I don't think that's going to get
That
touched.
was pretty amazing.
But we had a different scoring league back then. But anyway, we're going to get into the matchups this week. First one we got up is Alex versus Schmidt. Cole, do you want to take this one? Throw some spec on one of these two?
Sure, I'll take this one. Look, Alex has been playing great for a couple years now. Everybody knows he's like the old grandpa who bargained at everybody because he hates the new age of way people do things. And Schmidt is that new age hipster. He's that new guy on the block. He's got a lot of swag. He's got X-ray glasses. We all know that. And I think his X-ray glasses are going to lead him to a win this week. I think John solidifies that number one spot that I've been shooting for all season. And he knocks Alex down a notch and a little bit closer to his lead depth.
Can we get a final score?
80. Well, John doesn't score much. 84, and Alex's team is on the demise. I'm thinking 84, 81. Close.
Close, but on the hipster side. I like it. Jack, you're up next. You actually have the battle of two league members, me and Dan. Take us through your thoughts.
This is a great battle. Two great members of the league here. Dak Prescott has averaged just over 7 points the last 3 weeks. One would think he's due for a bounce back, but you can't trust these Thursday night games. DeAndre Hopkins is on the injury report. That's new. We'll see. Greg Olsen and O.J. Howard kind of cancel each other out at this point in the season. Sam's got the edge on the running backs. Can Robbie Anderson get back-to-back weeks up of premier play?
That should be
Brown has been on a tear. Ben Roethlisberger's away, though. Daniel, I'm sorry. I'm giving this one to Sam.
Thank you, Jack.
Just a quick glimpse. I'm just giving it to Sam. You don't like Ben Roethlisberger away. Robbie Anderson, it's tough to put up back-to-back weeks like that.
He's done it 5 straight weeks, Jack.
I would say 5. I think it's 4.
You know what they say, Dan. He's due.
So what's your final here?
Touchdown 5 straight.
We'll say 89.7 to 85.8.
Wow.
I'll take that.
That's a respectable score.
If I can't get the bye, I'm all about just winning points.
Hey, that's a good mindset.
You're at least getting back to semi-even.
If I can't get the bye, all about the points.
So, I'll take the next one up. We got Jack versus Mike Proska.
No butter.
Wow. I mean, Mike's team's looking kind of healthy here. I mean, no Dougie Baldwin or Stephon Diggs on there. And Robert Woods still in the lineup. But everyone else looking pretty good. You got Phillip Rivers versus Cleveland. DeMarco Murray against Houston. Theo Riddick could go off at any moment. I mean, I don't love his team. I'm just seeing what kind of fight you're going to have. Obviously, you got the 4 or 5 means you're still starting Tyrod, which I don't necessarily agree with, even though you have Aaron Rodgers on your bench. I think it's going to be close. Jack pulls it out, but it'll be close. You definitely need to hope to God, Aaron. Oh, you cut Aaron Rodgers. Wow.
No, he's there.
I don't see him, but he must be on your IR. I'll give Jack the win, 97.8 to 72.6.
Am I crazy for being a little bit nervous for this game?
It's a trap game. It's a trap game of all trap games, especially after Mike's game last week. projection schmections, even though I'm a projection slave. I think Mike's team is like, he had a great week last week. He's put up a lot of points in the past sometimes, and he's also put up a bunch of stinkers. But really, just one guy, I think he can get over. I think he can beat a team 8-9. That's just mine. Our ad of the week, I think we have a little side project. Cole, do you want to take us through that one? I guess Cole, you there?
I can't do it right now. I'm in traffic.
Okay.
Wrong turn.
Dan, do you want to take us through your ad of the week replacement?
We are brought to you by Waze, as Cole takes the wrong turn on his way home from Ohio. Waze, your number one GPS. Waze.
There you go. Perfect.
Get home safe, Cole.
Okay, so Dan, throw us through Cole's matchup. It's Cole versus Brendan, looking for a bye week versus looking for a playoff spot. Who do you got?
I'm making brownies.
What kind, you freak?
You have a company?
I'm doing a little fudge.
Oh, wow. Okay, but give us the rundown here.
So Cole versus Brendan. So Brendan desperately needs a win here.
Desperately. So does Cole, though.
Fournette is really fun of Cole. I mean, Cole's not desperate, though. He is in. He would prefer to win, obviously, but
Bye week is huge.
Bye week is huge. You only need one win after that to get money back.
Kirk Cousins at Dallas, Thursday Night Football this week. In the Dome, I think Kirk Cousins is in for just a huge week.
A smattering of points, if you will.
I think he's gonna ball out with 5 touchdown passes this Thursday night. All of them to Samaje Perine somehow, but whatever.
That's not biased.
Russell Wilson put Josh Doctson in at that point.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson at home against Philadelphia. I think he's going to have a down week. In comparison to what he's used to, I don't think he's going to hit his 22 points, but Cousins has him there. Cole does have a plethora of flex options that do top out Brendan. However, Cole's receivers are not very good. Well, T.Y. Hilton isn't. Alshon, I don't think, has a great week this week. I don't think he's getting in the end zone, maybe give him 40 yards. And Shady should have a hell of a week in New England. I'm gonna give Brendan the win that he needs. 84-74.
Oh, wow. Cole's team.
Yeah, let me chime in there real quick. I think I do have all picked against me for the past all year. I think every week nobody's picked me to win, except for the one week Jack picked me over Alex in the upset of the century. And I just want to say I haven't lost since week 5. Just throwing it out there.
Is that right?
To be determined. We don't have stats that far back. But I'm going to go through the next matchup here. It's Chris versus Debs. Pride versus playoffs. Let's see who we got. Tommy Brady. Oh, why is he on the injury report? Well, I guess he's just old. I don't love AJ Green or Dallas or Des Bryant as Chris's receivers, but I think Alvin Kamara has a big week. I think Kelsey has a big week. I think Abdullah has a big week. Plus, Minnesota's defense. Ooh, Atlanta? I think they get after it, though. I think they get after it. Debs, Lockett, I love Mark Ingram, but I don't think he outproduces Kamara. Vernon Davis, I don't see him having a great week either. I'm giving this one to Chris. He makes the playoffs over Brendan outright. 106-83. And finally, for the last pick of the week, we're going to go to Cole for Joe versus Buck. Hit us up.
Alright, so Buck has come out and publicly said that he wants things to change in the league scoring, and I think he's rattled. I think his team is rattled. I think him as a GM coach and overall dictator of his team, he's a little shaken.
Would you call him the Jerry Reese of the league?
Of an organization right now, from the top down, even though Joe is, from what I'm hearing, pretty distraught over not making the playoffs and being eliminated With that being said, though, I think Joe's team comes out and shows a lot of spirit this week, and I think they take down the Sheffield state champions. I think it's pretty big. I don't think it's any close. I'm thinking 96 to about 78.
Wow. Okay, then. Picks are all in. We shall see how the final season of the league wraps up. We'll go over last week's picks. I was 0 for 2. Dan was 1 for 1. Jack 2 and 0. Cole 0 for 0. Perfect 0 percentage. Dan has messed with the overall rankings here. He is not 14 and 0. He is 3 and 3 at a measly 500. I'm also 2 and 2 at a magnificent 500. Jack's leading at 4 and 2. I think at 66% accuracy, and Cole over 2. Just continues his downward spiral. We will, guys. You have anything else to add?
Shout out to highest point totals.
Shout out to highest point totals. We'll get some.
I hope everybody else in the league loses, and I am the only one who wins.
I just want to wish everyone the best of luck as the season winds down. It was a long season. You know, I'm happy to play fantasy football in the league with you 11 fellas out there, and I'm looking forward to another great season coming up next year. Because I probably already threw in the towel this year because league's done. So.
Yeah, that's a good point, Dan. You know what? I hope everybody really has a good week this week.
Okay, guys. We'll see you all next week.